Alright guys, last night checked out John Wick Chapter 2, so my quick thoughts. John Wick was one of those movies I had sitting in my collection for a little while, and then when John Wick Chapter 2 came out, people started talking about both these movies quite a bit, and I said, you know what, I gotta finally see this movie. I've had it sitting over there and I haven't checked it out, and it was one of those movies where I popped it in, watched it, and went, why the hell did I not see this sooner? Because the movie was amazing. For a story that kind of in a nutshell is basically a guy getting his revenge on a murdered dog. I mean, there's more to it than that, but essentially that's kind of the story. Dog gets killed and a guy hellbent on revenge, and just, it's pretty awesome. I mean, he's a retired assassin, and he's had some not so good things happen in his life, and he doesn't necessarily come out of retirement, but he just goes after these people who did him wrong, and it's pretty awesome. I mean, tons of great action. I mean, the action scenes in this are, well, the action scenes in this movie, I know I'm reviewing the first movie now again, but the action scenes in it are just fantastic. I can't get enough of them. The blood and the gore, they're great, and the fact that they're over the top, but at the same time, sort of truthful in the sense that, yeah, they're pretty crazy and wild, but things like John Wick constantly having to, like, reload guns and find new ammo and take guns off other people because, you know, he ran out of ammo for his weapon. You know, things like that are pretty cool. So I really like this movie, and the story and the plot and everything was just fantastic about it. It blew me away. I couldn't believe I had waited so long to see it, and it was amazing. If you haven't seen John Wick, you gotta check it out. So, sure enough, when I picked up John Wick Chapter 2, I had to see it, because I wasn't gonna wait around like I did the first movie. And I liked it. I gotta say, the first movie I thought was a little better, I guess. I'm trying to think of how the best way to describe it. I don't want to say this movie was watered down, but it didn't feel as crazy, perhaps, as this movie. This movie, it seemed like action. And this movie had plenty of action as well, but also some more story. So, again, I don't want to say watered down, but I just felt like this movie was just a constant adrenaline rush, whereas this movie had plenty of adrenaline rush moments, but not, like, constantly. I don't know. But still, really good story. I like the idea of, you know, he never really came out of retirement per se in this movie. He just started killing again because he was getting his revenge. Well, another assassin who basically John Wick's kind of like in his debt, and unfortunately, once you've like done this pact, you have to go with it. You can't say like, oh no, you know, I don't want to do, like, I owe you this one thing, I don't want to do it. Like, you have to. However, he was retired, and it was kind of like, well, I would have honored your retirement and just let you go, but you came back and started killing, and even though technically he never came out of retirement, he's not an assassin anymore, the way this guy sees it, who John Wick owes, he kind of sees it like, hey, you started killing again, you know, you're back in the game, you owe me, and John Wick doesn't want to do it, but then he realizes it's basically do it or you know, be killed. Like, he has to do it, otherwise, you know, the world of assassins are going to come down on top of him. So he does all this crazy stuff and kills somebody, and now he's got people after him, and he's got to go after people as well. So really fun movie, just watching, you know, him going after somebody and people coming after him and whatnot, and all the craziness that ensues. But the really fun part is the end of the movie where, and I know, spoilers here, okay, the end of the movie where basically everybody comes down, everything comes down on him, everybody rains down on him, and he's left kind of out in the open at the end because he's going after the guy who he was in debt to. He's going after him at the end of the movie, and he kills him in, I can't remember what it's called now, but like they have like these hotels set up like all throughout the world where like the assassins can go and get like weapons and stay, and it's like kind of like a safe house. They can get everything they need at this place. You're not supposed to do anything in there. You can't kill anybody in there. Again, it's like a safe house. So you might be trying to kill like another assassin or something like that, but it doesn't matter. You can stay there and nothing can happen. If you kill somebody, then all hell's breaking loose and people are coming down on you. You can't do it. It's like rule number 1. Don't break that rule. Well, John Wick just says, screw that, pops a cap at him. And now, you know, it's kind of like, oh no, you know, what, they even say, like, what have you done? So now he no longer has any safe houses he can go to, and he's got a bounty on him. So now he's pretty much screwed. He's got the whole like world of assassins, and you see in this movie there are a lot of assassins out there. In this movie, you know there's more, but you don't really hear too much about it. You see him going to this hotel, and everybody in there is kind of an assassin, so you know there are more. But in this movie, it really says, hey, look, they are everywhere. No matter where you go, there's going to be thousands and thousands and thousands of assassins. Apparently, there's just like a boatload of them all throughout the world. There's so many assassins everywhere. And now they all want to come after him because there's a big bounty on his head, and he no longer has anywhere to hide. So I'm really hoping we get a John Wick 3. They did leave this movie open for a third movie, and I'm really hoping to see that because I freaking love the movie. I love both movies. Again, I think this one's like the better one. This one was, still a solid sequel. It kept me entertained. It was fantastic. Even though this might have been a little bit more of an adrenaline rush than this movie, I'm not dissing this movie at all. I'm not trying to badmouth this movie in any way whatsoever. It's great. If you've seen this, you gotta see this. You'll enjoy it. But again, they left it open for a third film, and I want to see this now because not only is this just a fantastic franchise to begin with, and I want to see more and more and more and more movies, but I'm really interested to see what happens now with him having nowhere to hide. Where's he going to get his weapons from now? Where's he going to, where can he stay? I mean, he's got all these an entire world. He can't go anywhere. The entire world of assassins, the whole globe full of assassins is after him. Where is he going to go? Like, what is he gonna do? Everybody's coming after him, and again, where's he gonna get weapons and things he needs to survive? How is he gonna survive? He might be the best of the best. He might be the best assassin there ever was, but when you have everybody coming after you, you have nowhere to hide. You don't know if that guy walking over there, walking his dog over there, is just some dude walking a dog, or is he an assassin? You don't know. What are you gonna do? So it really opens the gates up for something totally amazing and a really interesting movie. I think with all these assassins coming after him, we can get into a lot more great action scenes like in the first movie. I think the third movie could just be action, 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 like we had in the first movie. I would love to see more of that, even though there was still plenty of it in this movie. Some great scenes. The opening with the car was amazing. I loved it. I loved it. So yes, I cannot wait to see a third movie. I hope they do a third movie. They better do a third movie. I gotta see a third movie. I want to know where this is going. It just seems so interesting where the story could take us, and I want to see if John Wick can survive an entire world of assassins coming after him, or can he get out of it somehow? Can he figure something out? Can he weasel his way out of it? I mean, who knows what's going to happen? He does have friends in the assassin world, but at the same time, there's a big bounty on his head. They might want the money. Who can he trust? Can he trust anybody? What's going to happen? So hopefully, fingers crossed for a third movie. I really hope so. So if you haven't seen either of these, don't be stupid like me. Don't sit around and wait to watch this movie. Check it out like right now, and then watch this one right afterwards. If you don't have them, go buy them both. Check them out. They're fantastic. If you're like me and you just like great just action movies. I mean, these are action to a T, but in a really fun way. I mean, there have been some movies out recently. Like, was it Crank? I think it was that the movie? Was that the movie with Jason Statham? They did like 2 of them. I think it was the movie. The one where he has like that thing in his heart, like the pacemaker. It's gonna like blow up if he doesn't like keep like the action going. There was that. There was I can't think of all the other movies. There was another movie I'm trying to think of where it was like really like, ooh, it's an action movie, action, action, action. Like, those movies, but they were all kind of done in a sort of cheesy way where they knew they were trying to be like over the top action and just constantly action throughout the whole time. It was, they knew what they were doing. It wasn't like a really well done movie with a lot of good action in it on a constant basis. It was ha ha ha, we're trying to be action all the time, and they were fun movies, but it was kind of tongue-in-cheek at the same time, whereas these are action all the time, in your face, just constantly throughout the entire film, but with a really good, interesting, fun story to go along with it. So these are well-done movies with a lot of awesome action. So if you're an action junkie and you want to see all that mixed in with a really good story, the John Wick movies are something to check out. So again, see these movies. Don't sit around and wait to watch them like I did. Check them out immediately. You will love them. You will not regret watching them. Here's hoping for a third one.